Hey, handyman here. We got a little something different today. I'm gonna be doing an oil change on the wife's car. So, if there's any women who want to know how to do a simple, quick oil change, maybe you want to do your own oil change, and this is a way to do it. So I'm going to go through what you need, and then we're going to change the oil. It takes about 30 minutes total, if that includes gathering up all your stuff. So we'll get right into it. Oh, before I forget, hit that subscribe button for me, and if you like the video, hit the like button, make a comment, ask questions, whatever you need. I answer all questions, so maybe you got an answer for me. Maybe it's something easier you know how to do better. But anyway, we'll get started. First of all, you need your oil. This car takes a 530 weight. I got the cheap old SuperTech stuff. It's at Walmart. It's like 21 bucks now. This stuff used to be 11. Got a funnel for putting the oil in the car. Got my refresher marker. I'll show you what that's for here in a little bit. Need a couple rags. Also need some gloves. I got my genuine mechanic gloves there, mechanics. Got my oil filter and some basic tools. This is to take the oil filter off. This is to take the drain plug out. This is a 10 millimeter for this car. This is a 24 millimeter for this car. So I don't think I need anything else. Oh, you need a drain pan to drain your oil in. I'm going to get everything set up and we'll get started on it. First thing I do is get my gloves on. Now these are Mechanics brand gloves, and they're not like oil proof, so if you got latex, vinyl gloves, whatever, use those. Keep the oil off your hands. Now you see this right here is your drain plug. It's 10 millimeter on this car. I'm gonna crack it, and then it's loose. So what I'm gonna do, car's up on jack stands, ramps. What I'm gonna do is you push up or push in on your drain plug. Okay, this keeps the oil flow to a minimum, coming around the threads and stuff until you get it all the way in thread. You'll hear it click, and when you do that, you want to grab a hold of it and kind of whip it out of the way like that, out of the stream. You get very little oil on your hands this way, and it keeps you from dropping the thing in your oil drain pan. And you see that oil draining out pretty nice, and that's why we have a couple of rags with us, so we can clean our hands up when we're done. Now we're going to let that drain out. Let that drain into the pan. We're going to take our drain plug. I always like to clean it up. Just give it a little wipe down with one of these rags and then set it aside. I got a little bit of oil on my hands. Not bad. Not bad at all. Next thing I want to do is on this car right there is the oil filter. It takes a 24 millimeter socket, which I have right here. I always use a little extender to make it a little easier on me. Oh, I need a ratchet, so it makes it easier to get off there, because this is in it's at a bit of an angle, so it makes it easier for my ratchet to loosen it. And once I get it started, I take all this out. Take my ratchet and extension and U-joint off, and then I just use this to get it out the rest of the way. Also, wow. Also, you take your oil cap off. Really, the oil flows out so nice and easy anyway without that being off. But it's got to come off anyway. You just don't want anything to fall down in there. So if you loosen it, take it out, clean it up a little bit, maybe just sit it right back in there. Take this the rest of the way off. This might leak a little oil out of the top, but it should drain on out. there's a hole in the bottom for the oil to return back into the system, and I just let her sit down there for a second till it drains a little bit. If you go to Walmart or a auto parts store like NAPA or whatnot, they can, when you tell them what kind of car you got and size of motor, they'll help you pick out what you need, get you the right filter and whatnot. You could also take your VIN number in, and they can definitely make sure everything's right. If you don't know what size your engine is and all that silliness, you can go stick your VIN number in there. And here's the old filter. Now this thing's pretty nasty. My oil is a little bit overdue on its change here this time. So this is what the new one looks like. This is a 7,500 mile oil change interval car anyway. From the factory it's 7,500 miles. So I just slip it in here like so, and then grab it, unsnap it, get it out of there. That thing's ready for the trash. And I like to clean up the inside a little bit. There's a kind of clean this up some. You can see that my 24mm is finally worn off, so that's what the pin is for. The old Sharpie brought it out to refresh. Just like that, 24mm. Now there's an O-ring. You can use a screwdriver if you want, but it's a little bit more difficult with a screwdriver. I've got these things. A little pick. You can hook it around there and should be able to hook it right around there and pull it off like so. Clean that out too. That's just because you don't have to. You take your fresh oil, dip your finger in there, get your new O-ring and lube it up nice and wet, and then you slide that bad boy on there and it tracks just like that. It's ready to go. You take your new filter, this part goes up in there and catches, snaps in, and I sometimes like to clean this up a little bit as well. Slide her right over the slot. Ow. Put my 24mm bag on there. Set my ratchet the right way and tighten her down. I don't over tighten it. You just want to snug it up. That's all. You don't want to tighten that thing up so tight that you break something, but you also don't want it to come loose. So just snug it up. It wasn't very tight. I mean, it's tight, but it's not like super tight. Okay, we're done on the top end for now. We'll go back down below. Take our plug with us. It's got a little O-ring on it too, but it's not, you don't replace it. That's one of the reasons why I cleaned it up, so you can see. Sometimes these are magnetized and they'll have little tiny metal shavings on them from the used oil in there to help keep your parts lasting longer. Alright, where's my rag? Right here. Take this rag. Just kind of, she's still dripping a little bit. I'll clean this up and take my little 10mm, put it in there, snug it. That's all good. Everything looks good. You might want to give your vehicle a little look-see underneath. I got a little fluid here. This looks like transmission fluid. It's just kind of leaking. I did run the car for about 10 minutes before I started this job to warm the oil up, and so it will flow easier, and it gets all the particles in the oil up and moving around, and so they come out easier. That's what that's all about. I've been changing my own oil for forever. This is my this is my my garage floor. I don't have a garage at the time. I have one, but it's not concrete floor, and there's really no room. And this is actually a better spot out here. Plus, I got this nice breeze on me. Okay, so now we're gonna put the new oil in it. Now, see here, I wrote down oil plug is 10 millimeters, oil filter is 24 millimeters. That's over there. That's even, I got that written down in 2 places. I do that on all of my vehicles, so it keeps me from having to remember stuff. Alright, this is a 5-quart jug. Sure makes putting the oil in easier. Now, we've already confirmed that our oil plug is in. You always want to do that. You want to drain it first, then you come up top. All oil filters are not up on top either, so a lot of them are on the bottom. So basically, when I, like on the vehicles where it's all on the bottom, I do everything below first. I take my oil filter with me. It's pre-lubed up, and I take it with me, and I do everything below first. And I get up top here and do everything up here. The main thing is you want to make sure that your new filter is on and your plug is put back in. Those are your 2 biggest concerns, because if you go pouring this oil in there, it's going to go right back out the bottom if your plug ain't in there. And if your filter is a bottom filter, same thing. And just go through a little checklist in your head here. Oil plug's in, oil filter's in, and it's tightened. Both are tightened up. I'm going to pull this out of here, set it on this rag. My hand is really sore. I'm having trouble with this because my hand is so sore. There she is. She's good. Okay. Uh-oh.
It's the wife.
It's the wife. Okay. We got everything in. We got the oil in, new filter, plugs all tight. We're going to start it up. This doesn't have an oil pressure gauge, but basically I need to reset the oil thing. I'm going to do that. Press the set, and that is yes. Reset it. It's at 100%. We're good. Okay, now I let it run for a minute, but I can always tell when I change the oil. The engine runs a little smoother. I mean, it's just smoother. Yeah, very nice. Okay, we got the oil circulate, and we'll shut her down and get everything out of the way, and then I'll back it off of these ramps, and then we'll check it on level ground. I'm gonna pull the oil dipstick out, wipe her down, put her back in there, all the way in, pull it out again, get hold of it, look at it. You see the oil is up those ridges, it's all the way at the top. That's the 5 quarts. So this thing takes 5 quarts of oil. You don't have to wipe it off that time because you can use that oil and just leave it in there. No sense wiping it off. One thing you want to make sure of when you're doing your oil is make sure when you pull up on your ramps, you set your parking brake so the car don't roll off of there on you. You also want to make sure that if you're using a jack, you're using jack stands to put the car on. You don't want nothing falling down on you. So That's pretty much it. That is changing your oil. It didn't take very long at all. It's really easy. It's a lot easier than they want you to know. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you want. Also, check out some of my other videos. We'll see you next time. Handyman out.